Well, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Surprise, surprise, surprise. The state has filed more charges against YNW Melly as the first phase of jury selection begins in his double murder retrial. Yep, the state has filed more charges against YNW Melly. What are those charges? Let's get right into that. So YNW Melly, for those who don't know, is a rapper who has become more famous through his murder trial than he has for his music, but the murder trial has boosted the music sales, and he's been sitting in prison, or in jail rather, not prison, for quite some time now, quite a number of years, and he is now about to go to trial. So Melly, whose legal name is Jamel Demons, is facing a double murder retrial in the upcoming days. The state has filed additional charges against the rapper, his co-defendant, which is YNW Bortland, and a third person. I wonder who the third person is. Wow. You know what? Remember when the first trial happened? Remember the person who said that YNW Melly got out of the vehicle down the street and took a piss on the side of the road, and that got into their vehicle instead? So you had Mr. Glass, Trayvon Glass, who testified that Melly never got out of the vehicle he was in and got into their vehicle. And then you had that other guy, I can't remember his name right now. I'm actually driving while I'm doing this video right here. So the state has filed additional charges against rapper YNW Melly, against Bortland, and against a third person. If you remember correctly, YNW Bortland, who is also accused in this YNW Melly case, he is not facing a murder charge. He is more like accessory too, after the fact. But he is also been hit with new charges, which his latest charge was tampering with witnesses, and he was taken off of bail or bond. His bond was revoked, and he's now sitting behind bars. His trial is supposed to start after YNW Melly trial goes through. This third person, let's find out who they are. So Melly notably appeared in plain clothes this afternoon at the first phase of the jury selection, which began in his double murder retrial. Jury selection was supposed to begin on Monday. Jury selection did not get on the way until today, Wednesday. Well, Melly showed up, and today he wasn't wearing his orange prison outfit or jail outfit. Today he was wearing a suit, right? So he is ready for lights, camera, action. Okay, so the charges are added to the recently filed tampering with witness case. These include, listen to this, these are the new charges, includes directing the activities of a criminal gang. It includes unlawful use of a two-way communication device, as well as solicitation and conspiracy to commit tampering. The charges are filed against Jamel Demons, which is YNW Melly. It is also filed, charges are also filed against Cortland Henry, who is also facing murder charges that are tied to the original charge that YNW Melly is facing the death penalty for, and Terrence Mathis. Terrence Mathis is also charged with the same charges as well, except for the murder charge. Now, Melly was back in the Broward County courtroom on Tuesday after a judge removed the lead prosecutor in this case. Removing the lead prosecutor in the case, many people thought that, you know, this is Melly's time to shine kind of thing. But I think removing the lead prosecutor in the case is one of the worst things that could have happened to the YNW Melly's defense team. It looked like a blessing in disguise at first, but ain't no way it's a blessing in disguise when the state added 3 prosecutors to that case. Remember, they only had one person to go up against before, right? And they filed a motion to have that one person removed from the case, and now the state has added 3. I think the state is fed up. I think the state is saying, okay, let's go to war and let's get this over with quickly, right? And give it all all we've got. And he sure as hell is getting all that the state has. Remember, I also said, if you poke the bear is going to get up and growl. Meaning, if you go up against the state in any way, like try to make them look bad instead of just fighting your case and trying to disprove all the stuff they bring forth as evidence, then you are in for a rough fight, because they will also try to do the same to you. Now, what YNW Melly attorneys did was they accused the state of unprofessional conduct, right? They accused the state of lying. They accused the entire state of the entire prosecutorial, Broward County prosecutorial department. They accused everybody of being involved in cahoots with the lies. They accused the lead prosecutor of lying and collecting evidence on outside of his jurisdiction, and just a bunch of unprofessional things, which made everybody on that side look bad. Now, the state is probably looking at all of them now like, okay, so that's what y'all want to do? You want to play dirty? Okay, well, here are 4 more charges for your client. Now let's go fight these charges in court. Again, the charges are added to the recently filed tampering with witness case, and these include directing the activities of a criminal gang, unlawful use of a two-way communication device, as well as soliciting and conspiracy to commit tampering. Damn it, man. Damn it, man. And that's Cortland Henry, that's YNW Melly, and that's Terrence Mathis. Melly was back in court again on Tuesday, like I said, after the judge had removed the lead prosecutor from the case. The hearing in the case began shortly after 9 a.m. and lasted for more than an hour, as prosecutors and defense attorneys argued over the start of the retrial. The state asked the judge to please delay the trial so that the new prosecutors would have time to review the case. But the defense is pushing for it to begin ASAP, immediately, arguing that the rapper has a right to a speedy trial. So they're like, listen, we're not here for this slow down stuff. Let's go. We're ready to go. And Melly has a right. Citizens have a right. Melly has a right to speedy trial. What about his rights, right? So Broward Circuit Judge John Murphy, who was the presiding judge over this trial, he ultimately decided that they would go ahead with the first phase of jury selection beginning today. That phase entails questioning potential jurors who may have scheduling or other issues. They're questioning them, asking them, are you going to be able to make it? Is there anything going on in your life that would prevent you from being able to serve honorably on this jury, etc., etc.? Jury selection is expected to take several weeks. Several weeks. Last week, the judge granted the defense's motion to recuse prosecutor Kristen Bradley in an abundance of caution. Not because she did anything wrong, but in an abundance of caution to take her off of the case, right? And the defense attorneys claim that the prosecution didn't reveal that the lead detective in the case, which is Mark Moretti, had been previously accused of being willing to lie as he gathered evidence. Now, you got to understand that this is just an accusation. In an accusation, there has to be some kind of, oh, we're looking into it, and then if they see anything wrong, they'll launch an investigation. They already went to court and told the judge that, listen, no investigation was launched, so he was not under investigation. Therefore, there was no need to tell them that he had been accused. People hurled accusations all the time, but that's different if you're under investigation, and Moretti was not. They looked into the accusation, they found no wrongdoing, which was told to the judge, but the judge still said, you know what, just on an air of caution, I'm going to go ahead and remove Miss Bradley as lead prosecutor in this case. Now, the attorney for Melly, whose legal name is Jamel Demons, like I keep on saying, he asked Murphy, the judge, to remove the Broward State office completely from the case and potentially also to dismiss the case entirely. That request came after Assistant State Attorney Michelle Boutros, who works for the Broward office, which is a bad look when one of the employees testify against her own department. So she went up there and she testified that, yeah, I saw some funny stuff going on, and that was a testimony that was in favor of YNW Melly's defense team, right? Now, where do we sit? Defense attorney Jamie Benjamin, who is one of YNW Melly's attorneys, he said that information should have been passed on to them because they could have used it in court. You know how the case goes already, but the case is over and they didn't get to use it in court. So based on that, they were holding stuff from us where we probably could have came out with a no guilty instead of a mistrial and having to go to a retrial again. Basically trying to murky up the waters. Everybody is saying, what makes sense? Like, how come his attorneys aren't, instead of fighting the evidence that is laid against his client, he is more concerned about murkying up the waters? What this looks like is tell me you're guilty without telling me you're guilty kind of thing. Now, Melly still faces the possible death penalty if he is convicted in the first-degree murder in the 2018 slaying of his childhood friends. This is going to be pandemonium to see when all this is over with. YNW Melly, if he is found guilty. If he is found innocent, this is also, or if he gets to walk on any kind of technicality, this is also going to be something crazy to see. There are a lot of people out here who are rooting for YNW Melly, who are saying free him. But most of those people who are saying free him, I don't think those are people who actually even really care about following the details of the case. They just want him to be free just because they want him to be free. I don't know if it's the hype that goes with it, and then they can say they're a fan of somebody that committed murder and got free, or the system is holding him down and he really didn't do it in the first place. Free YNW Melly. I hope that they take the time to pick the jurors properly this time, and I hope that the jurors are given proper instructions this time, and I hope that the jurors are held accountable this time. I have no dog in this fight, right? I'm looking at the evidence that's presented, and based on the evidence that's presented, I myself, I'm going to be acting as a juror, and I will give my 2 cents as the evidence unfolds. Yes, justice needs to be served, but also justice needs to be served. Say it without saying it, and say it again. I'll catch y'all on the next video. It's BrainFLoTv. I'm out. Peace.